This is Michael Passmore, Senior Minister of Central Christian Church in downtown San Antonio. This video is being made for January 31st as we celebrate and continue our motion through our time of the COVID viral disease. It's a pandemic, they say. I would invite you to search the internet, recall your own readings. Perhaps you can learn lessons from pandemics and plagues past. Remember the old saying, those who fail to learn the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. A plague once gripped Athens. The year was 430 years before Christ. Estimates are that up to 1/2 of the city's population perished during the plague. It lasted only about 6 months. We are kicking around, creeping around 1% of our population's lost. The ancient historian who wrote the Peloponnesian War, a documentary of the history of the war between Athens and Sparta, his name was Thucydides. In his work, he describes the symptoms of the disease. He contracted the disease, but survived. Suddenly, people who were previously healthy were affected by sensations of violent fever in the head and a redness and inflammation of the eyes. Internally, both the throat and the tongue immediately became bloody and emitted an unnatural and foul-smelling breath. At the next stage, he wrote, the victim suffered the onset of sneezing and hoarseness, and soon afterwards the affliction went into the chest, accompanied by violent coughing, and when it took hold in the stomach, it caused severe upset, and every kind of bile that had been named by physicians was discharged. Fever and thirst drove many people to jump into the city's water wells, desperate for a drink of water. Thucydides also wrote of the psychological and sociological breakdown of the society. Seeking to blame someone for the plague, they turned on Pericles, the leader of Athens for over 30 years, who had brought them to the golden age of that great city. They turned in mobs against him and his court. He stood before the people himself, and before he fell to the disease, he called out to the people, put aside your private sorrows and concentrate on securing our common safety. We must help each other. So important for us during the COVID-19 pandemic that we would not turn on one another, not turn in political blame, but find a way to help one another, all of us, each of us. I'm reminded of that memory verse from the Philippian hymn. Let each of you look not only for your own interests, but also for the interest of others. May it be said of us in our time of trial that we exhibited compassion, mercy, and genuine love for one another. Thank you for letting me share with you today.